Up the pipe!
G'day guys, Nate here coming at you with a preview of Collingwood's practice game against North Melbourne tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon, 3:10 p.m. start in Ballarat Mars Stadium under redevelopment. No AFL games in Ballarat for 2026 due to this redevelopment, but there are practice games there for the weekend. It looks good despite the lightning, so bit of watch this space for the weather in terms of our game against North Melbourne. Again, this is just a preview. It's not really going to be an in-depth analysis or anything like that. Just things I want to see in the practice game. No extended squads or anything like that named just yet. I was hoping for it to be named last night, Friday night, but then I realised, and the last time we played a practice game on a Sunday was, I think, 2022 against GWS. I had to go through the archives, and I saw back then that the teams were released on a Saturday afternoon or even Saturday evening, to be exact. So not even 24 hours until or from the teams being released until game time. So this review, I guess, won't include the extended squads or anything like that. Again, I'm recording this on a Saturday morning, just after 6 a.m. So you'll get this upload Saturday morning somehow, 10 a.m. or a little bit later. And then you'll have the extended squads named just after this video or once you've seen this preview. I won't do a final word preview for this game. I was hoping to have the extended squads to go off for this preview. I am going to display my predicted best 23 for opening round anyway. Uh, don't go off that from me 100%. Just as a bit of a guide, I reckon, to what our best 23 or 26 will look like for the game against North Melbourne. I say best 26 because these squads are best 26. It's a sanctioned game, extended squad. Last year, though, against Richmond, we only used 24 players. Two players, I think it was Frampton and Ned Long, didn't play any minutes. And Ed Allen only played, I think, a half or a quarter. So we typically use the full 23, but I reckon we'll use the full 26. We will use our rotations quite a bit. I'll have to check if there's a cap on the limitations or a cap on the interchange rotations and whatnot. Ironic, I guess, against North Melbourne. But for this game, I'm not too fussed about the result. I know it's against North Melbourne. We should be expected to win this sort of game. But if you remember 2 years ago in the unsanctioned preseason game, North beat us by 5 goals. For North Melbourne, I think the result would matter to them a little bit more. Just the efforts as well at times and just how they structured up and certain injuries at North Melbourne still. We've got our own injuries and key defending depth concerns, but besides that, we're ticking all the boxes in pre-season. Certain players are fit and firing. There was a bit of a scare in training yesterday with Reef McInnes, but he's commented on Sweet Blue's Instagram that he's all good to go. A bit of an ankle injury. I'm not too sure how that fares for him being lined up for any of the match sims against North Melbourne. Any of the match sims by that, there's a VFL practice game Sunday morning at Arden Street, Collingwood v North Melbourne. The weather's terrible, and it is Arden Street, so very little shelter unless you want to stand under a tree. It is Arden Street, so it should be free entry, and you shouldn't have to get through security or anything like that. But obviously, be well and stay safe and whatnot if you are heading down. The reason I'll go to this game is I won't go up to Ballarat for the AFL pracky game. I'll just watch the VFL. So you might get a bit of a VFL report as well in tomorrow's review or possibly during the week, just for any keynotes. I don't have a Twitter or anything to post live updates. So uh, you might have to go word by mouth or someone might be there and they'll post updates throughout. So you'll hear it from them first. And then if I'm there to see it myself, I'll have a comprehensive breakdown of what happens. If there's any injuries, I say that like there's going to be injuries, but hoping there's no injuries. And it's a good chance as well to see any AFL listed players in the VFL practice game. These are the players who you wouldn't expect to play for Collingwood opening round or just be in the AFL side in the month of March at the very least, first two rounds or whatever. VFL practice games are a bit scarce for us. Our next practice game is March 14th against Geelong, Deakin Oval in Geelong. That's the same day we take on Adelaide MCG Saturday night. So you could go down to Geelong for the practice game in the VFL, then go from Geelong all the way to the MCG. But uh, I want to use my 24 hours nicely on the weekends. So I'll just go to the AFL practice game. If anyone's going to Deakin Oval March 14th, good luck, be well, stay safe in Geelong. In terms of this preview, again, against North Melbourne, preview, no real notes, no real structure to this sort of video. I am going to look down at my phone just from key dot points of what I've written down for this video and just what I want to see from this game against North Melbourne. Again, the result I'm not too fussed about. It's all about ticking the boxes, making sure we got the fundamentals right. Players are getting through fit and firing unscathed as well. And you'll see as close to a best 23 as you're going to get. Again, from my best predicted 23 for opening round, it's a good gauge, I reckon, from what our squad's going to look like for North Melbourne. Few players out, I reckon. Joel Cochran on the field, possibly or most likely. And then also the Dacos brothers, Perryman, Schultz, Lipinski, Ned Long, Darcy Cameron as well. So it's quite clear. Like, we didn't have our best players for GWS. And so I know people are a little bit worried about the results and whatnot. And there's still some things we need to work on, obviously. But if we look worse against North Melbourne with a better squad, then I'll be concerned. But I think we should be fine, win, lose, or draw. If the basic fundamentals are worse, we don't execute, then I'll be worried. My review of this game, or quote unquote review, will be posted Sunday night. I got a busy week ahead, so Sunday night, I'm not too sure when exactly. I'm hoping to get it uploaded before 8:30, so you guys at least watch it. I don't think I'll be able to get it up on Monday morning, and if it's up Monday night, it's too late uh, to process it, I reckon. And then after that, it's all systems go. Preseason stuff out the window, and then I'll post a preview of the St Kilda game opening round during the week. Final word video up either the Friday night or Saturday morning, or sometime Saturday, and then a review of the St Kilda game Monday morning or sometime Monday. It is going to be Labor Day next Monday, so I'll have a chance to upload it fully, so there won't be an immediate reaction to it. Back to this preview for the North Melbourne practice game, just some things I want to see, and we'll start from the top, or from the centre ball up to be exact, just the new ruck rules and how Darcy Cameron's going to fare, and also just how we set up in this game as well, if it's going to be Darcy Cameron and Oscar Steen. I would like to see Darcy Cameron and Oscar Steen play this game just to see if it works, this ruck duo. And with a bit of Jack Buller as well. I think Jack Buller needs to work on his work craft, but as a key forward, he looks good. So I'd rather Jack Buller just remain as a key forward for now. With these new ruck rules, my early view of it, not because of the knees on knees or anything like that, it does look a little bit silly at times, but I do think the ruck duos or the ruck combinations will be back in vogue. So the Gorn Grundy stuff from a few years ago would have been better here in 2026 and beyond. Darcy Cameron looked good in the State of Origin. Oscar Steen looked good against GWS. Looking forward to seeing how their rucks look in this game, and also our midfield setup as well. The structure. We had Ed Allen, Bo McCreary, Angus Anderson, a lot of midfield minutes alongside Scott Pendlebury, still side bottom. Prindable, Crisp as well, pinching in there at times. Sullivan was there for a couple of centre ball ups. I got to stop using centre bounces. It's not a centre bounce anymore, but it's also going to be important how North Melbourne responds. They probably had the worst outing of any team in the unsanctioned games. So I am expecting a bit of a battle. They will respond with their efforts and tenacity, their tackling pressure and whatnot. The big concern for me is the height down back. We don't really have any ruck depth besides Darcy Cameron and Oscar Steen. And we certainly don't have a lot of key defending depth. Darcy Moore, Jeremy Howe out, Reef McInnes injury scare, but he should be right. But it just leaves Billy Frampton and Joel Cochran, Lero Smith possibly as a key defender. That's a last resort. And then as a real last resort, it's probably Dan McStay being switched down back. But besides that, our height down there is very limited. Would expose us in the first few rounds, but hopefully everyone's back or key defenders are back by round two or after the round two bye to be exact. But Adelaide could kill us with their height up forward. Our entries inside 50 as well. The execution of that, it was poor in the second half against GWS. Is probably what cost us that game. Charlie West was the key forward in the second half, and the deliverance to him was shocking, which is probably why I've got Dan McStay ahead of Charlie West now. Dan McStay played much better in his half of footy compared to Charlie West. But if Charlie West gets that delivery, he'll look a lot better if he's playing in this game. But that's a watch this space for the key forwards. And we've got to get the key forward balance right as well. Just make sure Jamie Elliott's utilised the best of his ability. He plays better without Dan McStay, but Jamie Elliott looked good with Dan McStay in the first half against GWS. I think they'll have that chemistry back. It's just a matter of having, I reckon, two key forwards. The height in terms of Buller, McStay, West, two of those three. Include Membry as well up the ground and have Jamie Elliott utilise a bit of space or pockets of space, the new cliche in footy commentary. And then we've got the speedy forwards. If It's not going to be Bobby Hill speed or anything like that, but someone like Lockie Schultz who applies pressure. Bo McCreary's got pace as well, but he'll be playing more midfield minutes. And a few others that can play forward. Lipinski, if he's playing. Jordan McGoey can go down forward, but I don't think it will work with Jamie Elliott. And it's a bit of a watch on guys like Will Hayes or Saxena. I think they'll play the VFL, but again, it's all a watch this space. Again, the best 23 or best 26 plus 4 emergencies will be named Saturday after this video. So somewhere between 3 o'clock and probably 7 o'clock. Again, I'll have a review of our game against North Melbourne up or recording it immediately after our game's ended. I'll do my best with the stats involved. Again, it's going to be a review, so there won't be a lot of key stats. If it stands out, I'll mention it. And it's just a chance again to just tick the boxes, basic fundamentals, make sure everyone gets through unscathed, no major injuries, no reports. I'm seeing reports and injuries and whatnot. And if we win this game, we can overreact and say we'll win the premiership. Follow me on Instagram as well. I'll post the best 26 when it's announced on Instagram. So I'll be posting daily on Instagram as well. I keep saying that. It's a cheap plug. Follow me there. It's not the best Instagram, but any updates, if I'm not on YouTube, I'll be on Instagram and vice versa. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Give the video a like. Share your thoughts and comments on the preseason game against North Melbourne coming up. What's your best 23, best 26, what you want to see? Does the result matter to you? I won't disagree with you on that. I saw a bit of comments regarding the result against GWS. I thought it was a little bit overboard. I think we'll be fine. Like, just for perspective as well. Like, in the proper preseason games last year, we beat Richmond by 83 points. We lost to GWS by 52 points in opening round. The Giants lose by 10 goals to Carlton last year's preseason game. They come out beat us by 52 points. Richmond lose by 83 points to us. Carlton win by 10 goals against GWS, and Richmond beat Carlton. So, and Brisbane lost their preseason game last year and they won the flag. So it's all about perspective as I lower my voice on a Saturday morning. But yeah, that's all for this video. I'll leave you guys all to it. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Be well, stay safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Up the point!